nothing to debate here. Here's what our participation has been. Here is what the cost of these programs are as they are currently designed. And that I'll be sharing with you at next meeting.
Sean?
Yes.
I just think it's really important that we let the people know that pay to participate does not mean pay to play.
Right.
Since we've had problems with playing time and involvement and coaches' decisions that...
So no.
Okay.
That's defining the product.
Okay.
Making everybody fully understand this is what you get for your money. Staffing alternatives, the organizational structure is certainly, with 75% of our budget being in the area of staffing, certainly going to be part of this discussion. Return on investment utilization of our programs and services. Let's get some metrics there. Let's look at what is happening, what is the benefit, how does it impact student achievement, the various programs and services that we do offer. And infrastructure, which is what we've been talking about tonight. We're going to need to do that upfront work, communicate it to you of the board, communicate it to the community, and make sure everybody understands what the situation is when they go to the polls in April. So that was my presentation for this evening. I just wanted to give you some perspective on the history of things, what our thinking is on our approach, the areas we're going to look at, and specifically in terms of a referendum in our facilities, how we'd like to proceed. Chris?
I know Community Relations Committee has worked hard to get this communication mechanism up to the next level. I think it's urgent that we have that in gear to keep the parents informed and the community informed as to what is good going on in the school. So when it comes time for budget in April, it won't be something that's just started.
Well, another thing that
we got to kick that into gear like right away.
Another thing that we're doing here tonight is that this is being filmed. It's going to be up on our website. In fact, all of the budget meetings will be filmed, put on the website, promoted, opportunity for people to submit feedback along the way, give us their ideas and their thoughts. We're also starting this, it's November, and we typically are not talking about budget in November. But I think with what it looks like on the horizon, it's prudent for us to start talking about this now, even though we don't have information on state aid, and we don't have information on a lot of cost increases in the area of our budget. We don't have a lot of that information. We don't know what the cap situation is going to look like. Nonetheless, we can't let that stop us from doing some of the initial work to put together the data that we're going to need to make decisions when we do know that. Okay, that's the presentation for tonight. Any other questions from the board?
No, just one thing, and Sean, thank you for including the people on the Finance Committee in this process, in your frame of reference. So, I'm a believer. You had me at SREC, okay? But just for my colleagues, in iterating this out, ultimately, if we do nothing, we're going to fail at the main thing, and that's student achievement. We will not be able to finance facilities the way we need to have them and guarantee that our students are going to achieve. We won't be able to do both. And the numbers don't lie. And if anything, you are economical in your forecast. We didn't think that last year was going to be as bad as it was. We had an inkling from the governor, but it might be worse. So for us to sit on our hands and do nothing is just not an option.
Definitely the way to go. And he has me convinced also, and now it's my job to convince everybody else.
We'll get hard numbers, we'll do the preliminary engineering, we'll get that data, we'll communicate it well, because it really is in the student's best interest that we do a good job letting people know the facts so that they can make the right decision on a referendum. So that's what we aim to do. Okay. Mr. Wilson.
Sean, my understanding is that you're looking to us for approval to bring some of these professionals on board, architects, engineers, whoever necessary at this point.
I do have a resolution for your consideration tonight. The firm that initially brought this to us was Spiesel Architectural Groups. They have a tremendous amount of experience in this area, and for just pre-referendum services, that's what I'd like the board's authorization for tonight, so that I can get them going, because the timeline is such that we need to start this immediately. Okay. All right, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. As usual.
That's it for superintendent's report. Thank you. So it is time for public participation portion of the meeting. If everyone who wishes to speak would come up to the podium. And first name on the list is Carl Astola.
My name is Carl Acetola. I'm from Coltsneck, and I wasn't prepared to ask this question, but I know you answered them at the end of the board meeting. The hiring of the architect that Sean has just mentioned, did that go through the RFP process? And will the contract exceed the amount in the procurement policy of the authority? I'd also like to read a letter to the board members. Governor Christie's superintendent's salary cap is not slated to go into effect until February 4th, 2011. As the search narrows down to a few selected candidates for the new superintendent's position, the timing of any new hirings becomes an important issue to many of us who have been witness to the events of the last 2.5 years surrounding this district and the taxpayers as a whole. In light of Dr. Coulter's more than satisfactory performance as interim superintendent, I think it would be advisable to withhold announcing and hiring a new superintendent until after February 4th deadline to protect taxpayers of possibly having to pay the new superintendent more money than the state mandated. With the unfortunate continuing budget crisis this district will be mired into for many years, it seems to me that it would be in the best interest of everyone to be as transparent as possible and not fall into another ethical minefield by offering the new candidate a contract which could exceed the governor's salary cap a few months before it goes into effect. Because of all the attention and negative publicity this district attracted during the past 2.5 years, I think you should give extra due diligence to the timing of hiring of the new superintendent to avoid any suggestion of trying to circumvent the governor's salary cap. And this letter was provided by Leon Sorolnik of Manalapan. And when I came in, Mrs. Close, my friend, asked me to read it, and I was happy to. Thank you.
Thank you. Gloria Close.
That's how you got around the 2-minute requirement.
What? I got 6 minutes. Don't clock me yet. First of all, I'd like to commend Mr. Boyce for his presentation. I think that was excellent. You're preparing the public. The only thing that, don't clock me yet, okay? The only thing I'm a bit uncomfortable here is you are already informing the public about issuing a referendum or asking the public to approve a referendum. That's just like actually borrowing money when the bond matures. We have to pay for that. And if we cannot pay for that, our taxes will go up again. We have the worst economic downturn right now. And it's not going to get any better next year or the year after that. Unemployment is still as bad as you you all know. I'm really very, I don't know. I think you're talking about the facilities. Yes, I agree. We have to pay attention to our facilities. And I wish you would put, let's say, a 3-year study and address them. And address them, fix them from our own, from the current budget. Instead of referendum is a lot of money. And that's the one, and you know it's going to go down. It's not going to be approved because they're just like borrowing money. We got back 1.8 from the state, and I requested at the time to freeze the money, allocate some of that to the facilities because you could have created a special line item and put some of that money to be used for facilities. I don't know what happened to the money. I know we speed up on hiring, so. But I don't, like I said, you had a great presentation. I applaud you for that. But that particular one, I don't agree at this point. I'm going to speak. Okay. Now you can clock me. At the last Freehold Regional meeting, the last 2 candidates for the superintendent position were introduced to the public for questions and answers. Mr. Sampson of Verona was responsible for a population of 2,000 students from K to 12, of which only 600 were high school students. Mr. Grants of Hackettstown was responsible for a population of 2,000, of which 1,000 were only high school. We have 6 schools with a population of more than 12,000 students. It seems that they have little or no experience in a district the size of Freehold Regional High School. I believe both candidates do not hold doctorate titles. I strongly feel that these 2 candidates are not qualified to handle the size of our district. Experience counts the most. The district is currently operating efficiently with Dr. Kegler holding dual responsibilities as Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources and acting superintendent of schools. Dr. Kegler has a real doctorate degree and is experienced in handling this kind of population since she has been employed in the district for years now. She knows the ins and outs of how this district operates. I am confounded why Dr. Kegler is not being considered for the superintendent position. I suggest we continue the search to include more qualified candidates. We can expand our search area and even utilize a different search company. If we offer a salary above the proposed superintendent salary cap, the district can be subject to severe penalties. The new salary cap guidelines are effective February 4, 2011. This district should abide by that salary cap.
10 seconds, Mrs. Close.
Wait, I'm going to speak.
I got it.
Okay. The board granted a contract by beating the deadline. Oh, I am sure you have read what just took place in Parsippany. The board granted a contract by beating the deadline. Now the contract has been declared null and void. I understand that the law has changed, and now we have to issue a 3-year contract instead of a yearly contract. If the applicant hired does not perform his full potential, this district can terminate the individual. However, under the 3-year contract, we would have to pay the individual another full year's salary.
Mrs. Close, I'm sorry, I have to stop you at this point. We're at 4.5 minutes and I have quite a few speakers.
How can you stop me in the middle when sometimes I watch people who come here to speak can speak for as long as you allow them to, as long as they finish. And I'm almost done, and you stop me in the middle.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Close.
What sense does it make if you stop me in the middle?
They want to. Thank you.
You're back to the way you are.
Mr. King still here?